Hello everyone, it's Melanie. I finished a couple of little things I wanted to show you of how I've been using that woven paper, if you happen to make some. I started a little list yesterday of ideas for using it, and I thought I'd just kind of go through it. So this piece here, what's left of it, it started as a piece like this, which is just all book page. And I have been trimming pieces off of it to do things with. So some of the stuff I did, I just trimmed a piece off and glued it down the side of my page, just as a, and it's hard to appreciate, I think, on camera because you can't feel and see the texture and stuff. But just, you know, the edge of a page. Another thing I did, I cut off a square of it and then folded it in half and glued it onto a page as a tab, as a page tab, which I think looks pretty cool. I made a cluster with a little piece that I had left over that was tiny. And granted, you know, it's a big heart and it kind of covers it, but I just wanted to show you. I mean, there's lots of things you could use it with, do with it. A pocket. So I decided to do one as a pocket. I wouldn't want to try to put something in a pocket, you know, where this is on the back of it, because I think whatever you're putting in it would kind of get caught maybe. So I used some backing, and this is just some colored cardstock, and I just cut a piece, which I think I'll show you on one of these, cut a piece and glued it to this cardstock and used it, and then glued my corner, glued it onto the corner. And because I cut one at a diagonal, I had another piece left that was at a diagonal, so I made another pocket that I can put either somewhere else in this journal or in another journal somewhere. And then I put a piece on this pink paper, which is kind of cool because if you can see, you know, you can see through it. You can see the pink all the way through it. That's why I was thinking it'd be better to put it on, or it would be fun to put it on something, you know, that's colored, because then you can see the color through the little holes in the paper. So there's a little journaling tag or card or something, and I glued it on, and then I just zigzagged around the edges. So that was another idea. This I made like a library card pocket, and I just cut a piece of it and put it on the front. I glued some little stamps on there just to be decorative, and then I just glued stitched a couple of paper strips to the top edge. So the other thing that you can do, which I've done quite a bit of, is scanning it. And I showed you these. So this is scanned and printed versions of it. Here's this printed version of this one that I scanned and printed. I showed you this. This is my new composition book journal, and this has a piece of one of these pages that I've made in the background. And this is a printout. So there's that. You can use it as a background. Something else I was thinking that would be cool, if you did a scan and print, then you could use it like this. I just printed on the printer, but you could put this in a book as a book page, you know, in your junk journal, and then it would have this interesting print, because once you print it on a piece of paper, it's just like any other piece of scrapbook paper or whatever. But I also thought it would be cool to use the actual woven and stitched paper in your journal. So in this case, I don't have, if you can believe it, I don't have a journal laying around that I'm working on right now. So I don't want to cut this yet because I don't know what size I might want it. But you could just fold this. I'd probably end up cutting it, you know, about that big, the size of a page. And you could use it either just like this as a page in your journal, or you could back it with something. Like if I backed it with this and then glued it on, and then I could use this as a page in my journal. That way it'd be decorative on one side, and then on the other side it'd be flat. I think it would still be a little tough to write on, but you could still glue stuff to it and things like that. So you could back it, or you could just put it in there, you know, just like it is. let's see. Okay, I had another idea because once I printed it, I thought, oh, I just love looking at this. It's so cute. So I thought, you know what? If we get to build a new house, if we move, and I get a new studio, I'm gonna have a powder bathroom. And I thought, ooh, I could have it made into wallpaper. And wallpaper, one whole wall of, I'm thinking my powder bathroom. So my studio bathroom. So I'm thinking like, imagine this is a toilet instead of a chair. And that's the sink. So I'm thinking like wallpaper. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, so there's that. Page tabs and pockets, journaling cards, decorations, edge things. I was sitting at my desk posting another video, and I have these little books that I made from that Arn and Carlos inspired. I'll link to that video down below where I make these books, but I had one that I hadn't put a cover on yet, so it was just the pages that I had sewn together. So I just took some cardstock and glued, this is a scan, just glued some of it to the cardstock and then finished this book. I had to cover this is brown paperboard, I guess, or card. So I painted the edges since they were brown, and then I just put scrap paper end pages in. And then this is just an old Denison label that I put on the front. So it makes a cute background too, especially because when it's scanned, then it looks kind of three-dimensional. So another kind of fun idea. And then I was thinking, you know, it feels so much like fabric and stuff that I wonder what you could, you know, how durable it is. So this one I folded into, this was 9.25 by 9.25 is what I folded it into, or squared it up. So I cut it square and then folded this piece into my favorite origami box. So this is just a basic origami square box. And it really feels neat. It kind of feels like a straw, like a straw paper basket or something like that. And then I love this box because it's so easy to make, but the way the box is made, it leaves these flaps in the bottom, so I always make something to stick in the bottom of the box, you know, to kind of stabilize it and so those little flaps don't flip up. So it makes a cute little box, and it's relatively, you know, it's pretty sturdy. So this kind of makes me think of, I've seen wallets made out of, is it juice boxes or something? Or not juice boxes, but you know, like the Capri Sun bags or something. Anyway, I think you could make, depending on how densely you had stitched it too, I think you could almost use it like you could make a zipper pouch or something with some of it. And just remember, I mean, the whole point is that this was all, except this was all scraps that we just cut, you know, wove together of things that got cut off the edge of other papers. So one other thing I was going to show you was that once you have it done like this, and if you didn't, oh, you can see all the holes that way. If you don't have anything overlapping, which I think I put in the last video, but I didn't say it. If these are abutted, totally touching next to each other, by the time you get it woven, it'll start to warp. Just saying from experience. So anyway, just an idea. But I was thinking I could make a pocket, another pocket out of one of these. So it's kind of cool because if you've stitched every single piece, then you can cut this apart just by going between and cutting in that tiny little space that you left between the pieces, and just cut it apart. And use the pieces. So I was thinking this might make a cute pocket for some other journal. I don't know. So to do a pocket piece, I'd probably just I didn't make it go all the way to the edge, but let's see. It doesn't need to be that big. Let's just do it like, say, here to here. So there I just cut a little piece of fabric to use as my backer. And then I will kind of measure out how I want this to go on the front. I'm just gonna make a line, just draw a line on the back, and I'm gonna cut it on the paper cutter. Well, I can cut it right here. I'm just gonna cut it right inside that line so that there's a little edge when I actually glue it on to this. I should have cut it on the paper cutter. Now it's not straight. Oh, maybe because it goes that way. So you can just glue, oops. I'm trying to do this fast. This is what I was doing, just glue it on like this. You could stitch it if you wanted to also, but I do think if you wanted to use it for something like this, like a pocket, your best bet would definitely be to back it like this with something. Just burnish that down. And then I'd probably wait until it dries, and then if I have any little edges, like I didn't catch the edge here, then I could just go in with this glue and make sure I caught all the edges. So it's kind of a fun, you know, fun corner pocket thing, like something like that. Anyway, you know, take it or leave it. It's just kind of an idea because I was keeping all those page scraps or edge scraps, things that I cut off. So, and I will see you all in the next video.